Hey guys, this is the next stage of our authentic testing of Optima batteries. So this is what we've got here. Today is Thursday. We won't worry about dates because it might get confusing depending when I release the video. But I'll be doing this in consecutive times. I'll give you the time and the day. The start right now, Thursday, 11 AM. We've got a Waco CFX 35, okay? It's set on 0. In fairness, it's not really that cold at 0, but it's got your typical, it's got a few drinks, sort of half empty, half full at the moment. Every time we walk past, we'll open and close that. We'll put a drink in or a drink out, like it's being used. We've got the 5.5-year-old Optima there. Right, in fairness, we're going to leave the battery tester connected, which will use some of the power because at the end of the day, you've got other accessories connected, your UHF or your, like in the 120, the voltmeters and stuff like that. So this will do something similar. And right now, the compressor's running. Let me just check that. Yep, I can hear it. You might not be able to hear it. And under load even, it's still maintaining 12.5 volts, which is really awesome for a 5.5-year-old battery. Now that battery hasn't been charged. It's as it's removed from the vehicle. It's been sitting on the bench a couple of days. If you see the previous videos, that's what's happened. You just sit there, settled, no charging. I've connected, it's been running about 5 minutes, literally. And even under load, it's maintaining 12.5. So, I'll come back to you later in the day, in the morning, next day. We're just gonna keep running this fridge and let's see how many hours the old crappy, I'll say crappy because some people, they're crap and, get to this and that, they're better. Mate, look, I don't know if you can get a better battery for about 300 bucks. It's 5.5 years old, and you just watch and see what it can do, guys. And if you're not a believer, you'll be a believer by the end of this video. Hang around. All right, there it is, still 12.5. It's going to be a bada bing. All right, this is the 5 PM video. It's Thursday. 12.52 volts. Right. You can see it's set on 0. Oh yeah, cans are nice and cold. That's what you want. Right, let's check it out in the morning and see what the voltage has gone down to. Alright guys, 10 AM Friday, here we are. Nothing's changed, bada bing. Let's have a look. Yep, there it is. Same drinks, yep. Oh yeah, nice and cold, set on 0. And what's the battery voltage on? 12.2 volts, right? So I'll say just quickly, considering the conditions at the moment, that's a little bit low. But what I'm going to do now is, so please understand, this battery is as it came out of the car. On the bench it was sitting on 12.9, not a bad battery at all. Now it's been running for almost 24 hours, running a fridge without any charging. Let's just quickly go to the vehicle. It's got the brand new Optima. So this Optima is 5.5 years old. It's been hammered. Let's go to the vehicle just quickly. It's got a brand new Optima that on the bench was 13.1 volts. The vehicle was driven yesterday, getting pumped with 14.5 volts till 4 PM yesterday afternoon. Not all day, for about an hour, but the last charge was 4 PM yesterday afternoon. So this is just going to show you what the voltage on that is if it's low, how much load, and having those little USB lights and the voltage meters and stuff like that, how much it actually drains the battery. Let's go and have a look at it. It's in the back of the 120, so here we go. You can see the fridge isn't on, so there's no load there. It's just the usual voltmeter. Let's have a quick look. 12.5 volts. That's disgusting. That's about as low as what the other battery was. So this is just evidence that says to me there was nothing wrong with the other battery. The old 5.5-year-old battery was going good because the voltage of the new one drops just the same. So this is where you got to be careful when you're looking at your batteries going, oh, well, I've only got 12.5. Will that load? You really need to be able to isolate, disconnect all these power draw sources to your batteries if you want to have maximum voltage. Let's keep monitoring that other 5.5-year-old battery on the fridge, see how much longer it lasts. Okay, Friday, 3 PM. 12.1, 12.2, whatever, 12.1-ish, 12.12, whatever, right? All right, guys, this is 7 PM Friday. 11.82, but under load. Compressor's running. I'll be quiet for a minute. Hear that? That's compressor running. So I've just shut it off to take the load off the battery. It'll slowly recover. So even under load it was only just under 12, but you'll find it recovers to back over 12 volts. I don't think it's changed a lot. You'll probably find it's around the 12 mark. So it's still going up, but we won't waste too much time. It'll be about 12. Let's have it look at it again in the morning. Time for a coldie. Oh, yeah, they're nice and cold. Okay, here we are, 9 AM Saturday. So we're getting close to the 48-hour mark. Fridge set on 0. Yeah, same drink, same story, nice and cold. Compressor's running. So the battery under load at 48 hours, 11.47. That'll probably come up a little bit when the compressor stops. Let's shut it off. It's off now. It'll slowly come up. Anyway, turn it back on again. Not a bad battery considering it's 5.5 years old. But let's push it even further and then we'll get some solar on it. We'll do some more testing anyway. Let's keep monitoring, see how far it goes before this fridge cuts it out and it can't run anymore. Okay, peoples, I'm a busy guy. I don't know when this happened, but the fridge has gone off. Low voltage cutout is what some fridges do. So it's flashing saying nah. Battery is on 11.5 volts, no load. Right, and it says no. So I have to remember what day we started this. Was it Thursday? So Friday, Saturday. Lasted about 48 hours on a 5.5-year-old battery, and we had the fridge set on 0 degrees. Not the hottest of climates at the moment either. Not cold but not hot. This is one test. I think we need to do a little bit more. What we're going to do now is put the battery on charge, of course, because it's down to 11.5 volts. If it was an Engel Eclipse or something, our other fridge there, it would just keep running and keep killing the battery. So we might have to sit this battery in the back of the 120 where the Engel Eclipse is and run it down even further and see what it does. And I think the Engel will probably use a bit more power too because it gets colder than what this does. So this is Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon, about 7 PM. So not sure what time it cut out. We didn't check it since late morning today. Anyway, that's the results so far. And there's a chance this fridge might keep cutting in and out, keep trying as the battery recovers. Drinks are still really cold, so yeah, they're even cold at the top of the bottle. So hasn't been off long. Obviously, there's still enough power to run the light, whatever. But depending on that setting, I think it was set on low. Does that mean the lowest voltage? I think. Anyway, 11.5 volts, not ideal. Let's charge up that battery and see what happens. All right. So just to recap, obviously the battery's on charge now. Just using a cheap everyday charger. It'll get the job done. Charger like this, 4 amps. It's going to take, look, it's going to take more than 24 hours. It's going to take, well, you do the sums, right? The battery's probably going to be down to, it's going to need a good 30. 4 is not going to be 4 RMS, whatever. I'm not the electronics expert, but basically these are a really good indicator because it takes quite a bit to get that 5th light on. When we connected it and first turned on, it was on orange. It's gone a little bit green. It's going to be glowing dark green, and that one's going to go whatever anyway. So when we reckon it's full and by voltage, we're going to disconnect it, let it sit there, happy days. Then we're going to run our next test. The next one might be with a different fridge. It might be putting this battery in the vehicle, running the Engel off it, nothing else, without all the other power drains. We're going to do a number of different things anyway, guys. So this battery, just to be clear, 5.5 years old. Been running a fridge since 11 AM Thursday. It's now 7 PM Saturday. It obviously ran it for definitely 48 hours, so to 11 AM it was fine. We didn't check it since 9 AM this morning, obviously, been busy, got other things to do too, so sometime throughout the day the battery's got to a point that with the setting on the Waco it won't run it anymore. We have run Optimas down to around 6 or 7 volts. You probably shouldn't do that, but we have done that using other types of fridges that don't cut out, and we've found that they do charge up and recover from that okay. I don't know how good or bad that is to do, but just sharing our experiences. Let's get this charged up. I reckon that's pretty good. When you've got a battery, I'd just like to show you the facts. You know, some people go, oh, Optimas are crap, and some people say, what size battery you need? Well, a 5.5-year-old, only 55 amp hour battery, runs a fridge for 2 days. You've seen it, bada bing. You know, look, the drinks are really cold. I took the drinks out of the fridge, compared them to drinks in another fridge I've got set on 2 degrees, and they were colder than the fridge set on 2 degrees. So obviously the zero factor, either it was still running and it just looked like it was off, or it had just recently gone off. So I'll give it around about the, 11 out a few hours, sort of like about a 50, how's that? A 5.5-year-old battery that's 55 amp hour, ran a fridge for 55 hours. It's roughly something along those lines. So there you go, guys. And we're also going to do it again in some hotter weather. When we've got some stinking hot days, 40 degrees, we're going to park that fridge in the heat. We're going to open it and close it every half an hour and get a beer out. And we're going to keep this sucker running and run this battery down. And it's obviously going to last not as long. Let's do a comparison and see what the difference is, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you learnt something out of this, helping to educate you and share real experiences. I don't care if you get an Optima or not. It doesn't bother me. It's what I use. You know, I don't get a cent if you buy an Optima. I just like to recommend good quality products. What I see is good, and we get ours from, there you go, every battery is the sticker on top of the charger there. Every battery Heidelberg, and you'll get a discount. Oz Prado Crew. Just say Oz Prado Crew. Doesn't matter if you haven't got a Prado. Oz Prado Crew, Oz Prado Crew, Oz Prado Crew. Full before diesel. You got to say Oz Prado Crew. Thanks for watching, guys. Please give us a thumbs up if you got something like that. And if you haven't already, subscribe, turn the bell on. We've got more information coming your way. Thank you.